Hi Ma, welcome back for today's session. In the last classes we finished 8 successfully 4 units, right? So today we are going to start in our GCC a new unit called as security. Okay, so hope you learn some new information, some algorithms, methodologies, some problems and solutions in your INS subject, right? So the same will be repeated here, but INS if we consider for 100% of the syllabus, so in this we will get only 20% of the syllabus of your INS, not only 20%, maybe it's 15%, right? Okay, so in this unit we are going to learn about these new concepts termed as trust models for grid security environment, authentication and authorization methods. Hope you know about this. So in this, the first one is somewhat new one, ma. The remaining all you may get information from the INS subject, okay. But anyway, as a part of a syllabus, it's my work to finish the syllabus. Okay. So first one, trust models for grid security environment, authorization authentication, grid security infrastructure. Because a part of security here we also deal to whom we have to provide the security. Here the main theme of our subject is the grid and cloud, right? So we have to provide the security for the grid only, right? So how to provide the security for the grid, what are the consequences we have to face, this is going to be deal here in this infrastructure, and where we have to provide the security for the grid only, but grid is not a single object, it's a collection of some issues like computers, networks, some applications, right? So where we have to provide the security is the fourth topic. Next, so if any provider is ready to provide security for his providing services in terms of grid and cloud, then what parameters he have to concentrate? This is going to be deal here. Fifth one. Next, identity and access management architecture IAM practices. It's a new architecture for the grid and cloud computing security concept. We will learn what is architecture and how it is going to be helping us for securing our data round the clock in any environment. Okay. Next, hope you learn about this SaaS, PaaS, AS things in the first minute of your syllabus. So in this also, how can you provide the security? These last but one topic, and key privacy issues. Key privacy issues. If you want to maintain your data as a user in the grid and cloud, so what are the issues we need to be concentrate? What are the expectation issues from the provider? Okay, so these are the things you have to be concentrate in this unit. Okay, so let us start our subject. First one, trust models for grid security environment. Trust models for grid security environment. First of all, what is a trust? What is a trust? So a trust is the one a company give better service to us. So who should have trust? The customer should have trust on the provider, right? So how the provider can able to give a trustworthy concept or environment to the customer so that the customer feel secure. The customer have to feel secure of his data, right? So this is the main theme. Now see, so what is the definition of the trust in this environment? So trust is a firm belief. The firm is nothing but a strong belief in the competence of an entity to behave as expected, such that this firm belief is a dynamic value. So whenever we have some expectations from the company, that should get that expectation from the company to the customer. So it is not a fixed value. It can be dynamic based upon the environment, based upon the requirements, based upon the providing nature by the company. It may vary. Associate with the entity and is subject to the entity's behavior and applies only within a specific context at a given time. Specific context at a given time. So of course the security is very important, but throughout the clock there is no need to give security concept for it. Okay, whenever the data is going to be moving from one place to another, we have to take care of your data security. Okay, whenever the user want to log in his system for his data, at that time we have to verify the security. Okay, so it is depends upon the context. Next, so the trust value is a continuous and dynamic value in the range of 0 to 1. Like our probability belief is trust only. Okay, belief. Here also we used to have some trust value lying between 0 and 1. If you are going to get the value as the 1, you are very trustworthy. If you are not, if it is very near to 0 or it is 0, you are untrustworthy. Yes. So 1 means trustworthy and 0 means very untrustworthy. Okay, so it is built on past experience, right? See, if you are preferring to buy a products from Amazon or any other Flipkart, how? For example, I have been buying one new thing from the Amazon, but after getting the better service in a secure manner for your money and your feedback, then you want to buy a new thing from the Amazon, right? So it is called as a past experience. If you face any problem from the Amazon for the first time itself, can you prefer Amazon for the next time? No, you won't prefer, right? So that is called as a past experience. Okay, so it is context based. It is also context based. Okay, for example, I used to buy a lot of shampoos, Himalayas from the Amazon. They are good, but when I buy trousers for my kids, they are not good from the Amazon. So what I do? So am I going to leave the Amazon totally? No, I will not, because it is good for the kids products. It is not good for my products. Okay, so like that it is context based. Reputation, yes, the trust is mainly depends upon the reputation only. If it is a famous, familiar, then our trust will increase. So if it is a famous, familiar means it have more reputation, right? If you have more reputation, it is a more trustworthiness. Okay, when making trust-based decisions, entities can rely on others for information regarding to a specific entity. Yes, so this reputation may get based upon some others' information. This product is good. I heard from my colleague. That colleague saying that yeah, this product is good. This provider, this cloud IBM is good, or Amazon Web Services is good. If that is the case, which I heard from others, I used to believe because the reputation is more. Okay. So this information regarding to specific entity X is defined as a reputation of entity X. Then what is the technical terminology we have to use for the definition of reputation is the reputation of entity is an expectation of its behavior based on other entities. Yes. When it is observations or information, it is totally based upon the other person's information and their observations about the entity's past behavior within the specific context at a given time. At any particular, the reputation may not be valid for total lifetime. See, previously, if you go to Reynolds pen, it's a famous at that time, and you have good reputation also. Everybody used to prefer to buy that pen. But now, if you go to any stationery, you used to buy 2 to 3 rupees pen. It's more than enough for us. Okay, even though it is a good, but we may not able to get the Reynolds pen now. If that is the case, reputation may decrease like that. Evaluating trust and reputation. So how to evaluate whether the reputation gives a good trust for us? Maybe it's we have to think about that. A good reputation maybe give the good trust. It depends upon your requirement. If it is able to meet your requirements, then both are same. Yes. Trust decays with the time entities. Trust may not able to be the same for total lifetime because maybe reputation problem. Okay. Trust value is based on the combination of direct trust and reputation. Right now? So trust models for grid security environment. Do you have any models or mechanisms for your grid security environment? Yes, I have. What are those? Those include, yes, network sniffers. Network sniffer is the one which is going to identify the inflow and outflow from the network. If there is any out of control access, any fault operation is going on, any malicious operation has been happened Integration of local security mechanisms have been implemented, but they are not secure. Delegation means moving or giving it more information. Dynamic resources and services. New services have been installed. Attack province. Attack area. Province is the area. See, attack may not be happen whenever data is inside of your company, but when it's moving from one place to another, there is a possibility of attack. So these are all the mechanisms, or so not the mechanism, places where the attacks can be possible, or there is a compromise of your data security. Okay, so we have to make a move. We have to make a move from this to any other things by using some mechanisms. Okay, so here there is a relation between security demand and trust index. Security demand is from our side now. Trust index is from the company side. You are demanding 100% security, but the trust index is providing only 90% trustworthiness, that is 0.9. Then what you do? Do you prefer the company provider to share your data in the cloud? It depends upon you. But as per the experts' knowledge, their experience, they have given some formula to you. Okay, I hope you understood what is the security demand, that is our demands. Okay, trust index is the site needs to reveal its trustworthiness, call it trust index. Okay, so these two parameters must satisfy. Though experts' condition is the trust index should be greater than or equal to security demand. You are demanding 100%, but it is giving 90%. Then are they meeting your expectation? No. Then we can't trust the website or any cloud provider. Okay. Yes. So when determining its security demand, users usually care about some typical attributes. Okay. So what are the attributes? The user demand attributes are what is the trust model you are going to be use. What is the security policy? Whether you are going to providing authorization, authentication, encryption, or just you are providing one or two mechanisms. Accumulated reputation. So do you have any good reputation from other companies also, or in all categories? Self-defense capability. What is the self-defense capability? Are you engaging with the antivirus? Okay. What is the attack history? Any prone areas are there in your history? If attack has been happened previously in your website or in your company, then we may not able to prefer this cloud service provider to store your data because there is an attack, right? What is the site vulnerability? That is, what is the security percentage from your website? Okay, so 3 challenges are outlined below to establish the trust among grid sites. What are the 3 challenges? First one, the challenges are, the first challenge is integration with the existing system and technologies. So whenever the new thing, your data is new one, whether it is able to integrate with the new, the present data or not. Okay, that's the main issue because your concept is new, there is a world. But they are saying that yes, we can accommodate for you, your data with the security. How they will do? So this is a big challenge, okay. The resources sites in a grid are usually heterogeneous, yes, because a lot of computers are connected with the different configurations, right? Yes, and autonomous. So it is unrealistic to expect that a single type of security can be compatible with and adapted to every hosting environment. Yes, one may need encryption, one may need authentication, one may need authorization, one may need access control. So a lot of users coming up with a lot of demands. Okay, we have to take care of them. At the same time, existing security infrastructure on the sites cannot be replaced overnight. Yes, if there is anything we have to change, we may not be able to replace in a very short period, right? So thus, to be successfully, grid security architecture needs to step up with the challenge of integrating with existing security architectures. Yes, so these challenges have to satisfy with the present site or provider. The second challenge is interoperability. Yes, okay, interoperability, because we need different type of operations, not only hardware, different type of operations. Whether the site provider is able to provide all the operations for us or not, we have to check. Services are often invoked across multiple domains and need to be able to interact with one another. The interoperation is demanded at the protocol and policy and identity levels. So, interoperation and different operations where they can be differ in the protocol, the rules and regulations, what are the policies, and what are the different levels of data transaction is going to be happen. Okay, so for all these levels, interoperation must be protected securely. And the last challenge is the third challenge is to construct trust relationships among among interacting host environments. Yes, whoever the host, wherever he is, we don't bother, but they have to provide the security based upon the trustworthiness. Grid service requests can be handled by combining resources on multiple security demands. Trust relationships are required by these domains during the end-to-end travels. Yes, there is a need of moving your data from one form to another, from one place to another. If that is the case, we have to provide the good security. There are three challenges. Now coming to the trust model. So what is our trust model? How we are going to be providing security for the customer? What model you have been following for user security? Okay. See, trust relationships must be established before the entities in the grid interoperate with one another. Yes. We have to give the confidence. We have to get the confidence from the company that their company is a very trustworthy, so that you can place your data. Okay. So if that is the case, how the company is giving trustworthiness, okay, for us, so that so that we can place our data there. There are two methods, ma. One is a public key infrastructure. Hope you learn about this public key infrastructure. So in this we have a certificate authority who will certify your certificates, okay, that you are very secure, there is no problem at all, so that the customer will interact with you to store his data. That is the first concept. Second concept is a reputation based model. We will learn about this reputation based model now. So, reputation based model. See, in this there is a security demand. You are demanding some security. Okay, so there is a trustworthiness which is given by a company. But how the company is giving this trustworthiness? Okay, by inference and aggregation. So by using different mechanisms, those mechanisms are aggregated. Those mechanisms are inference. Inference means converting from one form to another. We are converting from one form to another that aggregation values, and this output is going to be giving as a trustworthiness that should be liable, that should be matched with the security demand of a customer, right? Okay, so what is the aggregation values from our side? Those are what is the defense capacity by the company, how the company will defend itself. Next, what is the recommendation? Trust. So what is your trustworthiness and what is the recommendation? Trust. And what is the direct reputation? What is the direct reputation you have? Okay, by combining all these three values, we are going to infer. By using this infer, we are going to get some trustworthiness. Okay, now. So now it is a time to know how the company will defend itself from outsiders, so that the customer data will be secure. So these are the things we have to. These are the things the company have to maintain. He is going to verify the intrusion detection. Intrusion means the attack. What is the response capabilities? Firewall. The firewall will not allow others to enter, will not allow the inside data to go outside. Okay, and is there any antivirus capacity in your company? And what is the recommendation? Trust we have. Third one, direct reputation. If the customer is going to get trust on you, what is the reputation? What is the direct reputation we have? How we are going to get good reputation? That is based upon the job success rate. Whatever the job success rate, that is the whatever data submitted by the customer successfully secured throughout his life. If that is the case, job success rate, it is not failure. What is the job turn around time? You submitted for job for 10th hour and it is came out next day after executing. Is it secure? No, na. So job turnaround time. What is the top turnaround time? What is site utilization? How many people using your site? Few people are using, no, there is no reputation for you. Lot of people are using, there is a good reputation for you. and what is the job slowdown time, slowdown ratio. So after giving your data or program for any website or any cloud provider, so how much time it will take to totally to down your process. Okay, if it is not getting down automatically, that website is good. Okay, ma? So these are the things we have to concentrate. Not we, it is actually the providers have to concentrate all the issues to give trustworthiness for the customer based upon his demand. Okay, ma? So this is called as reputation based trust model. Okay. Next, in a reputation based model, jobs are sent to a resource site only when the site is trustworthy to meet users' demand. What are the three major factors we have to consider here is, already we discussed about this three. What are those? What is the defense capability of the site, what direct reputation the site have, and recommendation trust. And we have inference model. Inference means all the categories of data security mechanisms are aggregating and getting a new value. The intrasite fuzzy inference procedure is called to assess defense capability and direct reputation. What is the defense capability? The defense capability refers to the site's ability to protect itself from the danger. We will discuss about this. Defense capability is directed by four methods we learn: intrusion detection, firewall, intrusion response capability, and antivirus. Direct reputation. How will get the direct reputation? It's a single task. It's a multiple task, right? How? First one. It is based on the experience of prior jobs previously submitted to the site. If it is able to submit, get the data successfully and able to submit the output to the customer successfully, then automatically the reputation is good. It is based upon job execution success rate, cumulative site utilization, job turnaround time, and job slowdown ratio, and so on. The positive experience associated with the site will improve its reputation. Very good. A negative will decrease its reputation. Okay. What is the recommendation trust? It is also known as secondary trust and is obtained indirectly over the grid network. You should get the trust also. So these are the needed. The weightage we have to give for any mechanisms you want to implement it in your security concept for the grid and cloud. The intrusion detection capability should be 0.8 highest weightage. No, 0.8 we have to give, 0.825. Antivirus capability should they include 85%, firewall 90%, authentication 80%, secure file storage capability 70%, interoperability 60%, secure job execution that's 75%. Okay, so next, fuzzy trust model. Fuzzy trust model means, see, till now we based upon the trustworthiness, which is directly based upon the reputation, the value between the 0 and 1 for the trust. And now it is the time to learn about the fuzzy trust model. It is a one, if it is not able to get 0 to 1, when we increase that interval not only from 0 to 1 or 0 to 10, the scaling can be possibility is there. If that is the case, it is called as a fuzzy trust model. Here also we have to use a trust index only. Here we have two levels of fuzzy logic we have to estimate, not in single level. Till now we have been given one level, but here we have a two levels. Okay, here the trust index value is going to normalize into a 0 to 1. 0 representing the condition with highest risk. See, if it is very near to 0, it is a risky job, and if it is a 1, it is a yes, good, totally risk free or fully trusted. So the fuzzy inference is accommodated through 4 steps, these inferences. Okay, so we can't conclude this trustworthy concept in a single step, but with multiple steps. What are those? We will see. Fuzzification, verifying the data using the fuzzy sets concept. Inference, moving, getting value and changing that value from one form to another. Aggregating all the values from different mechanisms what we implemented in our security. And defuzzification, converting from our required level. Okay. The second salient feature of trust model is that site's trust index cannot match the job security demand. We learn about this one, no need to learn. Yes, this is a very, very important picture we have to learn. First one, Fuzzy reputation based trust model. In this, selected cloud service provider. First step is which cloud service provider you are going to be selected. Yes, I have chosen Amazon. Okay, we have to check provider goodness in terms of comments, in terms of reputation, whatever they are giving feedback. You have to verify the goodness. Next one, provided cloud service. After getting this information, we have to give some data to process to the Amazon. I make some request by applying some products. Okay. Next, required cloud service. Whatever the required cloud service they are going to provide. Fourth step, cloud's customer satisfaction. Yes, I am satisfied with my requirement because they are going to satisfy my requirement. If that is the case, then we can fuzzy reputation based trust model. We can use this trust model. Okay, if you didn't got any satisfaction from the service provider, then what we conclude that yes, this is a wrong. Then we have to punish them, and we should not repeat the same steps to, or should not repeat any order to the service provider. We have to make him move to the another thing. Okay, ma. So these are the things we have to discuss in that fuzzy reputation based trust model. Right. So this is about the first concept, that is 5.1 trust model. In the next class we learn about authentication and authorization. So till now, have a nice day. Bye.